Alrighty artists, let's go ahead and grab those remaining Carle inspired textured papers that we made. So you should have about 3, because remember we used 1 paper to create our octopus. So this week we're going to use those other 3 sheets to create some ocean waves. So we're going to be taking our sheets of paper and transforming them from full sheets into, that's right, cool ripped paper scraps. So what you'll want to do is go ahead and make sure that you have a piece of paper that's going to be your background. I'm going to be using some light blue here, but you could choose to maybe use a yellow, or you can use a white sheet of paper and then draw in a sky later. Now I want you to observe here really quickly. I have 2 sheets that I have ripped here. What's the difference between them other than the color of them? Well, it might be that one's a little bit shorter than the other, and that's based off how the paper was ripped. So if I rip the short side, which means I rip my paper vertically, then my waves might not reach all the way across my paper. So it's very important that you rip your paper horizontally so you can see that it fits from side to side. Okay, it's time to get ripping. So again, make sure you are ripping horizontally so you get those nice long strips. Now all of your strips do not need to be the same size. Some might be pretty thin, some might be pretty wide. We like that variety. Do this with all of your paper until, look at that. You have a whole bunch of scraps, and all of these scraps from your 3 papers that you ripped, you're going to use for your waves. Now as you can see here, I'm going to work with my paper vertically. Again, means up and down. And what I want you to do is I want you to come just a little bit above the center of your paper, and I want you to start putting down your strips. Now, we're going to have the top part of our paper again be part of our background, part of our sky. So that means we're going to fill the rest of our paper down to the very bottom of it with our strips. So make sure you leave some room at the top. Now when you're putting down your pieces of paper, you see how when you made those rips, you could see some white that kind of came through on those rips? Yeah, we're gonna pretend that that is part of what we would see on our waves. So I want you to make sure that all of your white is facing up towards the top of your project. And as you layer and overlap each new strip, make sure the white side faces up. You might even want to consider making a pattern with your strips. You can see here on my example I'm working with, I've got some that have a little bit more green and some that have a little bit more purple. So perhaps I might want to put my green blues, and then a blue purple, and then a green blue, and then a blue purple. Find if you can do a pattern with yours too. And of course, friends, remember our gluing phrase, ... not a lot. We want to make sure that as we're adding glue onto our strips, we're just putting it across our piece and we're not overdoing it so that there's a whole bunch of glue seeping through on our waves. Once you've filled up all the way to the bottom of your paper, your ocean waves are done. So remember that folder we made and it has our octopus inside of it? Go ahead and grab that. If you still have maybe a tentacle or 2 that you need to finish cutting out, then take this time after you finish your ocean waves to go ahead and get your octopus all cut out and ready. As you can see here, I'm gonna go ahead and work on cutting out the rest of mine. I have 2 more to go. And there we go. Octopus is cut out, goes back inside my folder, and my ocean paper is going to be stored with my octopus in a very safe spot so we can finish these up next week.